Black Friday deals already live for many brands, and that includes, by the way, several major streaming services, including Peacock, Paramount Plus, and Max. They're all available for a fraction of their regular price. But where should you be putting your money as an investor in the streaming sector? With just a few minutes left till the closing bell on Wall Street, we're looking at how to play streaming stocks with the Yahoo Finance playbook. Joining us now, Barton Crockett, Rosenblatt Securities Managing Director. Barton, it's good to see you here. So going into the holidays, I don't know if we're going to have sort of a little bit of an uptick in signups because of some of those deals, but I'm curious who you like best right now within that streaming space.
Well, the streaming space is, it's certainly been a source of, some great stock performance. And we've liked Spotify really on audio this year, and it's been a terrific performer. Netflix has also been a terrific performer. We think it captures a lot of that great performance in the stock today. But we really think the leaders in streaming are going to be the big internet companies. So Spotify, Netflix, we think Amazon is playing well in this sector. Alphabet has some puts and takes around the stock, but we think they're a leader in streaming as well. Looking ahead, our next dollar in streaming is going to go into Spotify today, followed by perhaps Amazon, for things including streaming. But the media stocks are a little bit of a tougher play. The Disney would be the one media stock that we, are favoring in this space. But it also has, performed well lately. And so we think a lot of their ability to kind of keep up with the internets in that space is also captured in the stock. So tough area, just given how well so many of the stocks have performed.
But you still do, Barton. You have a buy on Disney, right?
Correct, I do. I have a buy on Disney. I have a buy on Spotify. The stocks have really moved in on our price targets. But I do think that there's an opportunity for these companies to continue to work and for the businesses, have an opportunity perhaps to inflect better than we've assumed at this point. But but they've done really well, right? So I think a lot of the best performance is in the rearview mirror.
Getting back to some of those companies that you say are really well poised here, I want to talk about Netflix a little bit because we haven't talked to you lately, certainly since we had the fight there, the Paul and Tyson fight. Yeah. It didn't go great by many accounts, either from a technical perspective or just the fight being very exciting perspective. But are there any takeaways for how Netflix is going to do with sports?
Well, what's interesting is that, the streaming quality was terrible. I watched it with my wife. It was hard to watch. The boxing match was really not a great boxing match by any stretch. Yet the audience was massive. And you could look at this as actually great for Netflix. If they can get such a big audience for such a subpar sports entertainment experience, what would happen if they had something that's really good, right? So they have the potential with NFL games coming up at Christmas for those games to be impactful. Certainly Americans love the sport. The type of numbers that they pulled in for the Paul Tyson fight, if they can replicate that kind of multiple of what you would expect ordinary media to pull in on the NFL, they could be really breaking new ground here, and it could be powerful. And that's, kind of the asterisk I put beside Netflix right now is that they've done well with the transition to getting people to pay for sharing. That's boosted subscriber growth. And what would sports do for them? Is that a second leg in the story? The initial mixed kind of debut is actually kind of encouraging.
Barton, I want to talk Comcast as well, splitting off its cable channels, including CNBC and MSNBC. You cover Comcast, Barton. So in your opinion, smart move financially and strategically?
Sure. Look, we cover Comcast with a neutral rating. It's a great company. Their business is largely the cable business, the broadband cable business, which is a secularly and competitively challenged business. It's growing. But the smaller part of what they do is the TV networks, the NBC Universal TV networks. And, I think their decision to spin off a subset of those, the cable networks, like MSNBC, like CNBC, and Sci-Fi Network and others, that makes a lot of sense, just given that those are not just slow growers, but they're decliners secularly. and spun off as a separate entity, they can perhaps pursue a better road, which is consolidating a challenged sector, which is those cable TV networks. Does that help Comcast? Yeah, it's not large enough to be terrifically material given the size of their broadband business, but I think it was a helpful move, as difficult as it is for those networks.
Barton, appreciate your time and walking us through those stock picks. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you.